Begets, hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome back. Hope y'all are doing well. Oh man, I think I'm gonna title this. I might title this video. I don't think I'm gonna do that, but I feel like titling this video "Me versus Sokka" because that's what it felt like. That during the entire 90 minutes, it was just shaking my head and just talking to the screen. And I rarely react when I'm watching a football match. Even though these last couple months I've been a little bit more reactive. I've been more interactive with with the screen. Um, Come on, man. Well, I know what's going on. I know what the narrative is. Especially when I hear these commentators blaming. They're not so much pointing the finger, but they are pointing out that Martinelli and Odegaard, they had the chances to be able to win this game. It's true. It's true. I'm not gonna say Saka ruined this game. I'm not gonna go that far to say that he was the sole responsible individual for for this defeat. For not being able to win this match because they could have won this match, but at the same time, and I think most people would agree, Aston Villa deserved number one. They deserved this win. They played really well, and they also had their chances. Arsenal, I believe, had way more chances, or a bit more chances than Aston Villa. They could have won this game. Arsenal, I mean, this slipped right past them. They wasted an opportunity to be up ahead, with those 3 points. Oh man! And I saw the Arsenal versus Luton game. I did see it. I actually saw it yesterday, and for some reason, it just didn't feel. It's strange. I didn't feel like making a video about that game. It was a good game, but it wasn't a great game for me, if you know what I mean. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I think it's the stadium. I think it's the venue. Something that puts me off. I don't know what it was. It was a good match, definitely a good match, and really good win by Arsenal, and really good from Luton Town as well. They played a phenomenal game. It was a very physical game. This game, I don't know, I found it more entertaining, even though it was a 1-0. It was more nail-biting, because it was close. I thought Arsenal were going to come back. I really, really felt that Arsenal were going to come back. I almost wanted to, not because I was bored of the game, but because I had stuff to do. I almost wanted to turn it off and catch it later on, because I said they're going to tie. They're going to tie. At least, at the very least, they're going to tie. And it just never arrived. It never arrived. It's true. Odegaard had two chances to be able to score. That first one, that counter, really good setup by Gabriel Jesus, and I loved what he did. I mean, he could have shot it with his right as well. There were like three bodies in the way, but something tells me if he shot it, at goal, directly at goal, straight, it would have gone in. It would have ricocheted and somehow, bounced off someone, and it would have gone in. An Aston Villa player. But yeah, I thought it was equally as smart to be able to hook it in. But what he did wrong was the aiming. He chose the wrong post. He should have crossed it. I think he should have crossed it. He missed a big chance with that one. And then the other one with the center, I believe it was Saka, if I'm not mistaken, or Ben White. That needed to go in. That was just the typical, typical goal that you score in an EPL game. You see it every week, week in and week out. And it just didn't go in. And I said, it's coming. It's coming. But towards the end, you could tell they were just grasping at straws, and they were just desperate. And I knew 5 minutes before it was going to end that it wasn't going to come. There was no way it was going to come. At that point, it was just going to be luck, pure luck. But they were fighting for it. I believe that they were fighting for it throughout the whole game, as was Villa. But Arsenal were doing everything. And then the disallowed goal, you're going to call me crazy. You're probably not going to agree, but I get that it touched his hand. But I've seen 2 games already where the defender accidentally, I think within the same game, I can't remember who it was, maybe it was Newcastle, defender all alone in the box, ends up trying to, I think, control the ball. It was a ball that was coming like a pop fly that was falling down. And the way he controlled it, and it ended up hitting his hand. And they didn't call it a penalty because it was accidental, right? I believe that. Why would he ever want to touch it with his hand? Or why would he ever want to make it bounce to his hand? It's the same could be said about this. It's hitting Cash in the chest, and it's falling downwards. It wasn't a shot that was hitting Cash in the chest, and it was bouncing off where it was gonna go away. It was gonna be too far to reach. This was bouncing from down below, hitting him in the chest, and the natural motion of Havertz's hand. Where else is he gonna put his hand? It was just a mere touch contact with the hand. Yes, I'm not as crazy as to call it a no penalty, but I don't know, man. At your own discretion, ref, you could call this not a penalty because it's a natural movement of the hand, and it should have been. I don't know. That one I'm a little bit on the fence about. It should have been allowed as a goal, but maybe that's just me wanting Arsenal to win. So I gotta be honest. I'm a little bit divided when it comes to that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit divided when it comes to. I'll be honest with you, but Arsenal did have their fair chances. Gabriel Jesus had a good number of chances. I thought he had a good game. He did fumble. There were times that there was a pass. I can't remember. I think it was Odegaard. It hit off his shin, and he should have better control. Otherwise, he was going to be all by himself, and the finish. We know he can finish. It would have gone in. And there were some errors from him as well. Some passes, there were some really good passes as well during the game that he was involved in. But I still don't think he should have been taken out. I still don't think he should have been taken out at all. Especially for Ketia. Not this game. Not at this moment. Not at this moment in time. Keep him in with the momentum that he had going on. He was more than surely the closest out of him and Ketia to be able, or anyone in that field with Havertz. And I mean, there's a lot of people that can score in this team that would have been able to score the winning goal or the tie. I don't think they should have taken him out. And I definitely do not think Martinelli should have been taken out for Trossard at all. He was having a good game, a good enough game. And the momentum, like I said, with the Gabriel Jesus, he had this momentum and he was just driving down, more so than Saka. I'm going to get to Saka because, my God, does that man piss me off. More so than Saka. He was penetrating, he was dribbling, he was going left, he was going right. You didn't know what he was going to do. He was actually centering the ball, a proper centers. He was throwing in proper centers. I don't know why you put in Trossard. And you had the eagle's eye view. What's his name? Arteta. He had the same view that we have when we're watching a game. I would have thought you would have made a better decision than to take Martinelli off. That was the worst decision that he could have made during the entire game. Yeah, oh man, that one really pissed me off. That one I'm 100% behind. He should not have taken Martinelli off. And God, that one really pissed me off. And then Saka. Look, Saka in the Luton Town game, he had two assists, right? And up until that point, especially for the first goal to Martinelli, I thought he did an amazing job. He was just spry off his feet, just very keen in getting that ball in, centering that ball for Martinelli. And then afterwards, he kind of disappeared. Let's be honest, he disappeared. He didn't do much. I'm going to leave it at that. He didn't do much. I think he did nothing at all. But I'm going to go ahead and say and be gentle and be nice. He didn't do much. This game, he was a lot more involved, but his decision making. There were some passes. There was a really nice pass by Gabriel Jesus and one where he's pulling back the ball. Really smart, Saka. There was another pass as well. I can't remember. I think it was to Odegaard. Really good pass going inwards. Like he likes to cut in all the time. And then the rest were just aberrations of football. The decision making, just not doing the same thing. The most predictable plays you can imagine, like typical Saka. There was a turnover, beautiful turnover. Havertz gets the ball, and he ends up passing it to Saka. And you have this amazing opportunity, and you have so much space. And not only does he stop the play, but he does the same thing that he does. He goes to his left, and he tries to shoot. And he does it in slow motion. I mean, just to add insult to injury. He kept doing the same thing over and over, kind of zigzagging and always to his left. Look, I know there's players like Robin, many players that do the same thing, but they're effective. He's not. The only reason why he's playing is because he just happens to be in a team where the coach wants him to play that kind of football. He enjoys that kind of player. That's it. And obviously the fact that he scores a goal per game, pretty much, or that's what it seems like, and he has assists. But after that, he's not involved in the game. He seems slow, which he's not. He stops the play. There was a play where they grabbed them. You're one You're 1-0, you're one goal behind, and you're stopping the play instead of moving forward. He's not stopping you enough where you need to stop. It's just, it drives me crazy. Keep going. Dude, you're young. You have the speed, you have the physicality. I said that so many times. And always with the cut in, always with the cut in. There was a ball that they gave him. It was an easy ball. It wasn't an easy ball. I think it was Odegaard. It just shot it to him. And he shot it for his left. And even with his left, he couldn't even, make contact with the ball. There was the pass to Ben White. It was just a simple pass. And he kind of shot it to Ben White. And it ended up going outside, for a throw in. It's just these these horrible passes, very clumsy, very messy. I don't understand. I mean, I get it because of what I just mentioned before, the passing, the goals. But then afterwards, either he doesn't touch the ball or he makes some really strange amateur decisions with the ball. And he's not effective. He's not taking anyone. The only one that he took on and was a little spin move that he did was against Digne, the Frenchman. That was the only time he beat someone. It was a ball, I think, that landed from upwards and came down. He controlled it really well, and he spinned around, and I think Digne got a yellow card for that, for grabbing onto him. That was it. That was the only thing. And then you hear these commentators, like I said, they're praising him, if anything. He's got 200 games. Well, what an amazing young man. Yeah, because they're putting him to play for these games, He's not prone to injuries, it doesn't look like, as much as other players. And that's it. That's it. That's why he plays. He's a mediocre player for a big team. I've said this before, and maybe I haven't said this before. If he was playing for Bournemouth, if he was playing for Leeds, if he was playing for, I don't know, for Luton Town, I would have no problem with him. I'd probably even be praising him myself. He is a very mediocre player, and I can't wait till the day that they loan him or they sell him. I know he's an integral piece to this Arsenal side, but man, he is a below average player for a big team. For any big team. And that's it. So Arsenal, they missed out. They missed out on being able to at least tie this game. They should have tied this game. They could have won this game, but they should have tied this game because Aston Villa also had chances to be able to score another goal. They got lucky too. They played well, really, really well. Some little bloopers here and there with Martinez, a corner kick, and he called it, mine. He was calling for the ball and ended up hitting Watkins, and then he's scolding Watkins, and you see Watkins' lips. He's saying, but you called it. You said mine. What are you talking about, right? But other than that, phenomenal game, really good game. That deserve to be where they're at, Aston Villa. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.